Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and on the last episode we took care of the Misery Mire once and for all. It's actually a good idea to just go ahead and take care of the whole dungeon because it's kind of sectioned off in its own area. By the way, here's a fairy if you need it, but we don't, so that's nice. Anyways, we got the Cane of Samaria, we defeated the enemy in the Misery Mire. I forget what his name is, but if you want to look it up, you can. I may have to look it up later, I don't know. But over on this section we have, well, if you remember, after you finish the Desert Palace, you may have noticed this little section up here you couldn't access. Well, now we can, because we have the Magic Mirror and a teleporter, so that's nice. Well, not a teleporter, but we at least have the Magic Mirror, so we can get this piece of heart here. So 2 more pieces of heart, and we'll have another heart container. We're nearing on the, maximum number of heart containers, eventually. Once we go back through the dungeons and clear out some enemies with the golden sword, which is going to be fun. Yeah, you'll see. Anyways, we need to head off to number 8, because we are heading to the next dungeon. And like I said a few episodes earlier, or if you're not aware in this Let's Play, I'm basically doing the Misery Mire and the Ice Palace early. Simply because, that way it enables me to get the golden sword early. And I just think it's kind of neat. You know, I've decided to glitch the game a little bit and do things out of order, so why not? But of course, to get the Ice Palace and the Misery Mire, we needed the hook shot, so you'll see today why other reasons why we need the hook shot as well. But first, before we do that, I wanted to show this. When we upgraded our bombs and arrows, I didn't show that there's actually a little secret over here. If you need some fairies before the next dungeon, it's here. And I'm going to grab a couple, so I still have a good bee, I think. And I'm going to grab some extra fairies. Because, well, we don't have a certain piece of armor that makes us blue, if you know what I mean. So enemies are really going to start taking some hits, you know. They're really going to start taking out our heart containers. At any rate, our bombs and arrows are upgraded a little more. I'm probably not going to max them out, but I don't know. If you want me to max them out, let me know. Anyways, time to do the ice dungeon. And you got to watch out for this dude, because he'll try to steal your shield. And your shield is pretty useful, especially at this point of the game and forward, so let's not let him do that. Now this guy, looks like we can't really defeat him just yet. Well, he's basically an ice monster, and we need something with fire to get rid of him, so this is one of the reasons why we needed to take care of the Skull Dungeon, or the Skull Woods. We needed the Fire Rod. And of course this introduces us to the wonderful ice physics. I don't know why water physics and ice physics are so horrible. Well, I do know why, but yeah. Well, I don't know why water physics are always awful, but ice physics are never good. You know, never good. Now, water physics were good in Majora's Mask, I gotta admit. And once you got the various suit in Super Metroid, I mean, then water physics wasn't a problem. But here, if you grab the Quake Medallion, or one of the other medallions, I'm going to use the Quake Medallion, you can kind of cheat the game a little bit, because what you do is you just use the Quake Medallion, and it takes care of all of these enemies, and you get more than enough magic powder, or what magic power, sorry, to negate the effects of the medallion, so that's pretty nice. Sorry about that, I just ate lunch, so yeah, rather full from lunch. It was a good lunch. This is what I hate about the ice physics, is because going through doors is just a pain in the butt. Time to use the Quake Medallion again. Why not? See what I mean? You're almost always going to get a magic decanter from that. And, you know, if there's only some item that we could have that would enable us to walk on ice. Anyways, don't worry about these stairs for now. We'll access that later. But anyways, we can't really access those stairs. But what I was gonna say is, yeah, we don't have an item or a ring, if you know what I mean, to walk on ice like a certain Game Boy Color Zelda game, if you know what I mean. Or maybe it was... Yeah, it was Game Boy Color, I think it was. I don't think it was Game Boy Advance. I never really played Oracle of the Ages or Oracle of the Seasons, but I have watched Let's Plays of it. I'd like to play it one of these days. It's a fun-looking game. And it's moderately challenging at times, which is nice for Zelda game. Anyways, we need to bomb this. One of the reasons why I upgraded the bombs and arrows a bit, just so I don't run out. So let's drop down here. Geronimo! And here we have a new enemy, the Stalfos? Why did I say Scalfos? Anyways, the easy way to get rid of him is just to drop 2 bombs here. And, there you go. He drops 1 bomb, but, you know, if you have enough bombs, you're okay. Which is yet another reason why I wanted to upgrade the bombs. And there he goes. And in case you're wondering, well, I call him a Skeleton Knight. He really is, but he does make another appearance in Link's Awakening, so... Yeah, you have to center the bomb here, and if you don't, it's not gonna work. Just kidding, just kidding. Haha, thought I had you there for a second. Anyways. This room is kind of a pain in the butt because it's got this little moving floor and all these spikes. But fortunately, the enemies here that slither across, these little slug-looking guys, are finite in numbers, so you really don't have to worry about it too much. And of course, you're invariably going to hit that switch, so... we gotta go back and hit the switch. And that's what happens with the spikes. And you'll notice the floor actually moves one way and then the other way. It's kind of an interesting mechanic there. Now here we can use the hook shot in places. You don't have to. But there is another location later on where the hook shot is very important. So. And by the way, I finished Let's Play of the Doom episode. I want to try Hexen pretty soon. But Hexen can be a little buggy. But maybe soon, maybe soon. And there's also side dreams for Doom that I want to do. And Outlaws. I played through Outlaws, and that was a fun game. I just can't get the historical missions to work, but I could always do those later, I suppose. And there you have it. It's nice to have the Quake Medallion. And you may be wondering, viewers, why am I not going for a particular item yet? Well, you'll see. Or maybe I am. I'm kind of doing this dungeon from memory as well. I kind of found out that when I do things out of order, sometimes it's just better to kind of skip ahead a little bit and deal with things one at a time. Especially because, well, you'll see eventually. Now we got these guys here, and I'm just gonna fire rod their butts. Come here. Come here. I'm gonna shortcut over here. There we go. You don't have to do that, but it's fun. Now, I haven't really tried either against these guys, or Bombos, but the Quake Medallion seems to work without a problem. I like that in the future Zelda games they gave you like footwear or rings that would kind of negate the ice somewhat. And to be honest, I have never gotten 100 Skulltulas in Ocarina of Time, and I'm actually debating that. If I want to do it. Yeah. That's a daunting task for me, because it's just a pain in the butt. Everybody else I've talked to that has actually done it says it's highly overrated. But that's alright. I have other games on the agenda. And some other ideas too. That's another reason why you needed the hook shot. And you've got these ultra-large traps, too. Yeah. Not too bad, though. This dungeon's actually fairly large, and without the little trick with the Cane of Samaria, if you know what I mean, you have to do a lot of creative backtracking to figure it out. And honestly, you know, if you want to watch somebody figure that out, you can, but it's not going to be me today, so... Nah. I've already got the Cane of Samaria, why not use it? I really think they meant for you to possibly use the Cane of Samaria because you could play the dungeons out of order just like you could with some of the dungeons in Zelda 2 and some of the dungeons in, you know, The Legend of Zelda. I mean, you could really do it in whatever order you wanted to as long as you had the items. So I think they probably intended... Oh, and by the way, there's not a bombable wall. Just kidding there. I just wanted to show that off. And in case you were wondering if that was a bombable wall, no. But like I was saying, I think they probably intended for you to play the game differently. And I think that's good because it's a good resale value for the game, you know. A replay value, not resale. Retail, no, replay. Replay. Get my words straight, viewers. And we got this stupid thing, but that's alright. So you can see here we need the hammer, we need the hook shot, we need the fire rod, and of course the Cane of Samaria doesn't hurt either. And what's in our chest here? The map! So that's nice. They don't give us the map pretty early, so... yeah. It sucks, but what can you do? Now over here, we can access this area we couldn't access before. And here we get the big key. So now we can face the boss enemy, or get the special item, if you know what I mean. So what do you think we're going to do? Are we going to face the boss enemy, or get the special item? Well, place your bets, viewers. Place your bets. Unfortunately, to get either one, it's kind of a pain in the butt. And you have to do a bit of backtracking. It's not exactly as easy as getting the item or the map or anything like that in the Thieves' Den or the Thieves' Dungeon. Or even the Palace of Darkness, really. And I probably could have edited that out, but whatever. I'm in a good mood today. Now, if you go over here, the floor will start dropping out from underneath you. And, might as well just drop down, because you can't really go anywhere else anyway. See, those guys take a lot of hits, so you might as well just use the medallion when you can. Kind of look to me like they've got gray hair or something. They look really weird. Like something out of DuckTales, I guess. You know what I mean? Green bots. Nobody told me about green bots. Oh well. I like how they give different color bots in this game. Like in Zelda 2, they just gave you bots, but they just made them more difficult in the last dungeon. Last palace. Don't worry, viewers, I'll eventually get the item in this dungeon, but, yeah. You can pretty much tell by now I'm not headed towards that. Headed toward, somewhere else. So, yeah, hope you placed your bets, viewers. This room sucks because you have to find the key. And right here is where the big treasure chest is for the blue mail, and unfortunately, yeah, we took the wrong way, but that's life. Let's get on out of here. Yeah, you could tell the enemies are definitely starting to take their toll. You're probably expected to get the blue mail at this point, but I didn't. Anyways, the Cane of Samaria, we can bypass that little puzzle where you have to drop a statue down, or a column, I think it is. I'm just not going to show that because, well, this is a glitched run anyway. I like that they have a little trap there. But you can get some extra bombs if you need them. So that's pretty nice. I also wanted to show you this. Whoops. If you think you're stuck, well, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. Don't you like my clever editing? Now here we get the boss of the dungeon, and thankfully the dungeon doesn't prevent us from going back in if we get rid of the boss, but I wanted to go ahead and get rid of him. Now one of the things you can do is use bombos on him, which is pretty nice. And it gets rid of his ice there. Now these guys do hit pretty hard, you can see. So this is why I wanted to get the fairies in the jar, or fairies in the bottle. Because I'm just going to wail on these guys. And you can now see what happens when you die. But no, we're okay. Thankfully we have a fairy in the bottle. You get a little lease on life, which is pretty nice. You don't get all your hearts back, but it's enough. It's enough. So there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and let the video finish, but on the next episode, we're going to maybe get the golden sword, maybe get the blue mail. Well, you'll have to find out in the next episode, of course. So thank you so much for watching. I'll let you watch the ending sequence here, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.